Happy Monday, everyone. This is Martha with Nature Niche. And this week I thought I would talk to you about bird-friendly certified coffee and sustainably grown, shade-grown coffee. Did you know that half of the people in the United States have a daily cup of coffee? But few understand the environmental impacts with traditional coffee production. Coffee is the second most popular beverage, just behind water. So I think it's important that we understand our drink choices and how that may affect our environment as a whole. And it can be daunting to figure out those kinds of choices, but we can improve our environmental stewardship and make purposeful choices about what we buy, eat, and drink. Programs like the Smithsonian's National Zoo and Conservation Biology Institute bird-friendly certification program is an easy place to start. So this bird-friendly certification program is the environmental gold standard in sustainable food production. And with the purchase of bird-friendly certified coffee, or they've just started certifying cocoa as well. By doing that, that means you are helping to preserve critical habitats for our wild birds and other wildlife, helping to fight global climate change, protect biodiversity, and support farmers committed to conserving bird and wildlife habitat by farming sustainably. I just wanted to explain a little bit about the environmental impacts of coffee, because I feel like a lot of folks might not be aware of that. 3/4 of coffee production destroys critical rainforest habitats, and it uses a lot of harsh chemicals. So this type of farming, it's called sun-grown coffee, and it's estimated that for every cup of coffee consumed, 1 square inch of rainforest was destroyed to produce that coffee. Shade-grown coffee, on the other hand, is produced under large shade trees, overstory canopy trees. So you can see that here. This is what a traditional coffee agriculture looks like. And then these are the large overstory trees where shade-grown coffee is produced. And those trees can get up to 35 meters or 115 feet tall, so provide lots of shade. And they help sequester carbon, fight climate change, and they help our migratory and the year-round birds survive. 42 species of North American migratory songbirds overwinter in coffee plantations in the tropics, things like orioles and warblers, thrushes, and a whole lot of other species. However, most coffee farmers remove that forested habitat to grow their coffee in full sun to get the greatest yield. And this requires environmentally harmful pesticides and a lot of fertilizer. And massive deforestation and chemical use lead to soil erosion, chemical runoff, and water pollution that leads to the death of terrestrial and aquatic organisms. So by removing that overstory cover to grow coffee, they're changing the temperature of the landscape due to lack of shade, and then all that increase in direct sunlight leads to evaporation and drying out of our soils, and then changes in the soil organisms and the soil's water holding capacity. When there's no crop rotation, they're just growing coffee in the sun, which is usually the case. Those coffee monocultures lead to the depletion of soil nutrients without there being a natural mechanism to replace those nutrients. And soil erosion also depletes organic matter in the soil, and that happens very quickly in these tropical forests, as short as a 5-year span. So this creates a vicious cycle of more slash and burn and till practices to clear more tropical rainforest to get to fertile soils to be able to grow the sun-grown coffee. Over 200,000 acres of tropical rainforest are estimated to be burned daily for both agriculture and industrial purposes, and 15% of the Earth's surface used to be tropical rainforest back in the 1950s. We're at about 6% today, with forecasts of all of our rainforest being destroyed in as short as 40 years. So we really can make a difference with what we choose to drink in the morning. And I also wanted to explain the many benefits of shade growing coffee and being a bird friendly certified organization. There are environmental, economic, and social benefits. So climate change mitigation happens, and the farmers get protection of their coffee crops from extreme weather through the physical protection of those overstory shade trees. With the use of agroforestry, that helps to protect the soil and water resources of their land. It leads to a healthier environment for the farm workers themselves and downstream communities. Organic matter recycling happens through the leaf litter that falls and through decomposition of that leaf litter from the shade trees. You get nitrogen fixing, so a natural soil improvement that happens from leguminous species of shade trees. There's the opportunity for ecotourism, as bird watchers and nature lovers and fans of sustainable agriculture may come to visit these shade-grown coffee farms. And you get brand recognition through association with the Smithsonian Institute, their marketing support, and access to their cutting-edge research and conservation work. Farmers also end up with wood and fruit products from these shade trees, and so they can get additional income from some timber, fruit, and honey production as well. So I just wanted to kind of explain that. You might think it's a little weird that a nature store started carrying coffee, but that was my reasoning behind it. I want to help support these local farmers who are practicing sustainable agriculture and helping to conserve our wild birds. Thanks and have a good week.